Well, when I get up in the morning, I go get my coffee, get my camera equipment. I'm probably up before most of you, but that's when you get the best shots. I go out, I have my rounds, I got my 4 or 5 favorite spots, hot spots, that I'll check and see if there's anything there. Been shooting pictures since the late 70s. You know, I shot weddings and various things. I've shot a lot of our friends' weddings back in the day. So I've always been intrigued with photography. Bought my first camera in probably late 70s. Shot weddings for JCPenney's, few studios, House of Pictures. You know, I freelanced for them, and that was started my love of photography. But as I gotten older, and I finally have purchased my new weapon here, and all the wildlife in this area, it's just it's what I love to do. And one of my reasons for doing it is I love to show everybody what is in this area. A lot of people are not aware of all different wildlife and critters we have growing around here. It's just it's a great place to be. There's people from all over the state come out here on the weekends and during the week to search these birds, these ducks, eagles, whatever it would be. To get that great shot, or home run shot as I call it, it's patience. It's like hunting. You know, I've got my spots. I've got my favorite spots where I know every few days I'll see an eagle or I'll see an osprey or anything for that matter. But a lot of it's patience. I mean, you can sit there with an eagle for 2-3 hours before it even moves. You know, the hawks are a little more, you know, they're a little more fearful of you. You know, they'll fly immediately. But the osprey, the eagles, you know, the blue herrings, the egrets, they'll sit there for hours, you know, and to get that home run shot, sometimes it'll take me 2-3 hours just sitting there patiently waiting for the action to happen. It's nothing I just drive up to and, oh, there it is, and take a picture. It's very time consuming, but that's my love. That's my love of the marsh and this wildlife. You know, I'll sit there for hours on end waiting for something to happen, and sometimes nothing happens. You just leave and go to another spot. You know, you never know. You know, the more and more I do this out in the areas, you know, like the ospreys, the eagles, it's funny, I've learned their habits. I can tell, you know, when the ospreys fly in the spring, they nest, they have their babies, and how they protect their nest, I can tell when they're out fishing for food for the babies. So I'll sit there for an hour or two and knowing that they're going to bring a fish back to the nest, and that's the picture I want, you know. That's the home run shot, you know, carrying that fish. Hopefully it's a big fish. But I've learned their habits, the same as the eagles. You know, they have their habits. You know, osprey, the blue herring, you know, the egrets, you know, they all have habits that you can tell when they're fishing. So I'll sit there and wait, and I know they're looking for a fish. They'll be walking and they'll be staring, and that's the moment I'm looking for to capture. You know, is the what I call a home run shot. You know, action shot. You know what I mean? Whether it be an eagle catching a fish, or actually a hawk chasing an eagle. They'll chase one another's. You know, they're predatory. They're you know, they protect their nest. They protect their own. So you see quite a few confrontations with those species. Point Mulley itself is kind of a family history with me. You know, right here where we are down by the clubhouse is where my grandparents originally moved in the 1800s before this was Point Mulley, when it was the Millionaires Club, when it was a private duck hunters club. And my grandpa and dad worked down here for quite a few years, punting them out to setting their blinds up, you know, out to duck hunt. And my grandpa used to take care of their horses and you know, their cabins in the off seasons and that. Then in 1915 they built the farmhouse over on Lee Road, and that's where they settled over there, and that's where I am today. But that's why Point Muley has such a heartfelt meaning to me, is growing up here, hunting with my dad, trapping. My Uncle Fritz trapped for a living, farmed and trapped for a living. It's just my favorite spot in the world to come hang out and enjoy the wildlife. We have such a variety of wildlife. Year by year it changes, but the marshes have grown back, and there's more and more eagles, ospreys, hawks, all sorts of ducks. It's just a fun place to come hang out and shoot pictures. And back in the 70s and 80s, most of, well, there goes some wood duck. In the 70s and 80s, with all the chemical plants along the river here, this Lake Erie was dead. It was, you know, there was no life. There was nothing in the marsh. You know, you were lucky to see, you know, a few mallard, a few ducks, but you didn't see eagles. You didn't see deer around here. You know, it was bad. But then with the restoration of the marsh and the money put into the area, and you know, the clean waters, it's brought back so much wildlife. It's amazing. I mean, it's probably over the past 10 years or so, the eagles, it's just, you know, from seeing one or two to I see them daily now. But one thing about an eagle, you never get tired of seeing an eagle. I don't care what it is. You know, every time you see an eagle, it's just like, wow, you know, that's your home run, is the eagle. But all the critters so have made a comeback. So there's many more types of ducks now. You know, there's a marsh. There's muskrat, mink. You know, coyotes. It's just changed so much from the 80s till now, and I think that's driven me and many others to pursue this, you know, wildlife photography sport. There's so much vast things to take pictures of. There's actually a duck sitting right there in front of me, but it's just a fun time right now.
So having a dad who takes lots of wildlife photography is very fun, leads to lots of adventures. We will randomly go for drives and, you know, see anything. It's fun just seeing all of the wildlife that actually is right here in our very own backyard. It's things that people don't realize we have right here in our backyard for our enjoyment to see. And if you just open your eyes and look, it's wonderful all that's there. It does make me happy to see him doing something that he loves and getting to share, and coming down here to Point Muley and showing everybody all of his work really makes him happy. So that's exciting and just nice to see.
When it's all said and done with this video and what we're doing, I think my purpose for doing this, it's not to brag about taking nice pictures. You know, there's many people out here doing the same thing I am, but it's just something I love to do, and I love to share with everybody. And I want to thank everybody. I have quite a big following of friends, family, people I work with that follow my pictures regularly, and they, you know, they appreciate my hard work at this. It's not really work, but it's something I enjoy. But I do appreciate that. But when it's all said and done, I just want to be known as that guy. I just grew up in the marsh, still in the marsh, and love to hang out in the marsh, and loves photography.